what's good? It's your boy Ycee on my lives. You know, one ain't nobody but Don, and I'm chilling with my girl Ycee. Don't go anywhere, don't touch that bell. Keep it locked.
I don't wanna wait for no one. I put my hands on your body. Don't be shy, don't you worry. Too much juice, too much so. I know one like this stunt, and the way that I move is nothing. It's nothing, it's nothing. Bro, one for me. I be on that with shit, don't thought for me.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another week on Ycee. My name is Evelyn Kumsin, and I'm an actress, host, and model from the city of Toronto, but worldwide soon. I believe it. So yes, if this is your first time tuning into my channel, please don't forget to do 3 things: like, subscribe, and share. LSS, and even leave a comment. This week on Ycee,
Because that was when I got admission into uni.
what did you go to university for?
Marine biology.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
It's not that deep.
What would you classify your genre of music?
Ycee music.
Why? Okay, genre said like
That's my genre.
That's your genre. Ycee.
My mates will see me in school and be like, "Yo, do that thing, do that thing."
What thing? Because I want to hear it.
Yeah, I'm gonna laugh.
Yeah. What influenced the breakup?
Men are trash.
Say that again.
Men are trash.
Why do you say that men are trash? So yes, we had Nigerian artist Ycee in the city, and I want to give a big shout out to Prince George for this interview. He's an event organizer in Toronto here, and he brought Ycee to the city, and it was honestly amazing to have this privilege interviewing Ycee. So before we start this interview, I would like to update you on what Ycee's up to. He's currently in my homeland, Ghana. Like, yo, Akwaaba. I seen he has a project going on with Becca, and she's a female artist that makes beautiful music, love music, and I am super happy these two are about to do a collaboration. I know after this interview, you guys are gonna see a whole new perspective of Ycee. I love and respect brothers who go hard for the Africa. So, without further ado, let's get this started. If this is your first time tuning in, please don't forget to do 3 things: like, subscribe, and share. LSS. So, help me welcome. Should I call you by your home name? Ycee. Which one do you want to call you?
Let's go. Ycee.
Ycee's cool? Okay.
Yeah, Ycee's cool.
So what's your actual name, if you don't mind sharing?
My name is Martin.
Martin.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a pretty simple, nice name.
Ali Joe Martin.
Wow. Okay. So tell me a little bit about Toronto, your tour in Toronto, or let me say the whole of Canada, and how that's gonna go for you.
I mean, it's my first time in Canada, like, ever. Mm-hmm. I'm really excited about that. And, Canada is somewhere that always stands out on the map because, thanks to technology, we're able to, like, check feedback from, like, where we put out music and, the people that listen to our stuff on the internet. And Canada is somewhere that's always shown love, like, if not social media, I have a bunch of connects out here. They're always like, yo, you should come down. And sometimes I'm like, I feel like I should have done this sooner.
Wow.
But I feel like everything just has its right course, in the timeline. So the fact that we're here now, I guess we're meant to be here now.
Yes.
So, I mean, it's cool. Mm-hmm. I'm really, really looking forward to, seeing what the energies are like in different places. So, like, I'm doing, so far we've confirmed Vancouver, Winnipeg, Montreal, and Toronto.
Okay.
Or is it Toronto?
Toronto. African style. So why? Like, can I give you a nickname? Why? Why?
There's people that call me Why.
Yeah, I'm gonna call you Why.
I feel like sometimes that Ycee sounds like a lot. So I'm like, oh yeah, why, yo, why? And I'm like, yeah, what's up?
You think it's smooth?
Yeah.
Okay, so how long have you been doing music for?
I started music when I was in secondary school. Like when I was in SS2, I started recording music, but I wasn't putting it out because before that time, I was that kid that knew every popular song. I knew every song lyric for lyric. I used to, like, when I get in trouble with my seniors in secondary school, they would be like, Ali Joe, sing for us. And I was like, just entertain them. And in SS2, I spent 7 years in secondary school as opposed to 6 years because I repeated a class.
You repeated that class?
Yeah, I actually did.
Wow, thanks for letting us know that failure is not a setback.
Hell no. So, like, you know, repeating that class, being in the same class with my juniors, you know, I met people that were doing music, like, you know, they were going to studios. I was recording off my brother's laptop, like, we're recording at home. But these people were going to studios, you know, working with producers, making their own original songs. And they used to perform in school, like, no shame to their game. I just felt like I knew I could do better than these guys. Because I listened to it.
And you knew you could do better than these guys. Yeah, like, that's a confident word.
No, like, because I mean, it's like when you see somebody being celebrated for, you know, knowing 2 times table, and you know, like, 25 times table. I actually know 25 times table.
Don't let me interrupt you.
But no, let's not do that. Awesome. So I just felt like, you know, these guys are like, they're okay, it's cool, but, you know, I could do better. So I started recording. My brother BBK, Beats by Karma, he's actually my brother, and he started learning production. So I used to be like the test subject for his beats. So I started off like just freestyling and acting like I was saying stuff to actually writing lyrics, to actually, you know, becoming a rapper. So by SS3 I started, like, I made music, but I wasn't playing it for anybody because it was just my thing. It wasn't, you know, I wasn't trying to be like the next anything. So when I finished secondary school, you know, my mom usually had this thing where we wouldn't apply for uni. Okay. You have to spend like 1 year at home. You know, either you learn a trade or, you know, I tried working somewhere, it didn't work out.
What trade was that?
It was a fast food restaurant in Festac. Yeah.
So wait, how did you take your orders? Because if it's a fast food restaurant, let me hear a little.
There's a menu. You saw.
Oh, that's okay.
So like, I didn't work there for long because I was doing everything. I was cooking. I wasn't necessarily cooking, but you know, I was preparing meals. I was cleaning up the kitchen. I was showing up really early. Like, I did it for like a week. Yes. And I felt sick because I was doing everything. The only thing I wasn't doing was collecting money. So they had someone else they were paying to. So after 1 week, like the next week, man, I didn't wake up. And I woke up at like 8 when I'm usually supposed to have been there like 6:30. I woke up at like 8:30. And, you know, my mom, she was looking at me like I wasn't even ginger, like I wasn't rushing like I'm late. I just saw that I'm not doing it. And she understood, so I was like, cool.
So tell me a little bit about your life, and like, let's say for instance, I want to know if a time in your life when, let's say, you went through a struggle, how are you able to overcome that struggle?
I'll say this particular struggle or low, 2014, you know, I go to Tiny's house and I'm like, I don't want to make music anymore. This is like 2 years after I got signed. Was it 2014 or 2013? I think thereabout. And I was like, it's not working out, you know, like nobody knows Ycee. We're shooting these videos, we're investing so much, you know, you're putting down so much. I feel like it's just best to just, you know, just quit while we still are in a reasonable deficit. And I think that period for me was very important because I finally understood that, you know, the whole term, it gets darkest before the sunshine. That actually happened to me like right before, you know, everything kicked off. Because when I said that, everyone was like, wow. And, you know, I noticed, that was when I understood that, aside the fact that, you know, people have invested money in me, people have, you know, set down whatever they were doing to like actually be dedicated to, you know, the Ycee project. It wasn't just about financial investment. People that actually invested like parts of their lives, and people that invested their time. So me, like, imagine somebody quitting their job to come work on my shit, and me saying I don't want to make music anymore. That person is like, wow, this kid is really selfish. Like, you don't even see the bigger picture. Like, so it was a wake up call for me. It was an eye opener. So what Tiny actually did was he was like, you know what, just take 1 year, you know, do what you want to do, and see if after that 1 year you still want to, like, you know,
make that decision.
So that was around the time, and I think this was 2013 because that was when I got admission into UNILAB.
What did you go to university for?
Marine biology.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a...
It's not that deep. Don't worry.
You had me there. It's not that. Why is it not that deep? Tell me why.
Because it's when I tell people marine biology, they think oh, maybe I'm one of these
under the sea,
mega scientist type of. Nah, I wrote jam and I passed it, and I was like, oh, okay. What course can I actually do in the science faculty that's not going to have me come into school every day? That's not going to be, that much demanding.
Yes.
And everyone's like, oh, marine biology, there's not that many people in the department. And I thought there was not that many people in the department because it was just an easy course. But it turns out there's not that many people in the department because it's not that easy.
Exactly. But yeah, you said it's not that deep.
Because, for me, how do I put this? I live by so many mantras, I live by, there's always a high level on the top. I live by money on my mind, blah, blah, blah. And I also believe examination is not the true test of knowledge. So me going to school, me finishing secondary school in 2010, 2011, and taking time off, I started making music. I was going out, nightclubs, shows, shooting music videos, recording, just living.
Yeah.
And then putting that down and then coming to continue with school.
So what made you want to go back after that? Did you take the full year or did you end up going back earlier than expected?
I went back years later.
Years later?
When I say years, I say 2 years. Instead of 1 year, I went back 2 years later. So for me, I understand that education is important. You have to learn.
Yes.
Even if I'm going to class every day and I'm failing the exam, but when I go into the studio and I want to rap, I have some new terms, I have some new punchlines, I have new stuff to play around with. So going back to school after being exposed to the industry,
yes,
I felt what are you trying to tell me? I'm in the class, someone is teaching me, you're teaching me because you're trying to earn a living. And I've been out there trying to earn my own living. So I feel we're on the same level. And not just that, I'm the kind of person that if I'm getting knowledge that I'm not really implementing in my daily life, it's not actually of much use to me. So I'm going to school, I'm learning all this stuff about oceans and rivers and estuaries and marine life and all that. And it's cool. But at the same time, it's not being implemented, so there was a disconnect.
Okay.
So I think what that did for me was it helped push me back to music. So going from I don't want to do music anymore to going to school to okay man bro, it's music or nothing. So 2015 I understood a lot more about the music industry. I understood a lot more about my brand. I understood a lot more about sound. My dreads started growing.
Your what?
My dreads.
Your dreads. I was wondering, is there, because I usually see...
My head.
Oh, there we go. That's what. And do you do this yourself?
Hell no.
Okay. So, continue. Your dreads started growing.
I just started growing. 2015, I recorded a song with Persue, and I remember that day because I had the beat for a while. Ycee made the beat, sent it to me. And this was how much I really didn't think much of music, right? I used to go to Persue house a lot. I used to chill there. I met a whole bunch of artists at the time that were buzzing and stuff. And I'm working with Ycee. Ycee is one of the biggest producers in Nigeria. And he sent me a beat, right? And I go back to school. I'm supposed to write verses to this beat, and I didn't do anything that day. I was just in school chilling with my guys up until evening. And then he called me, and he said, I have to be in the studio now. Persue is around. Ycee said, yeah, this is the best time to make the record. So my verse wasn't ready. I left school. I jumped on the bike to go to the island.
You jumped on the bike?
Yeah.
Okay, so basically you have a humble beginning. I'm really liking
I still take bikes. I still take Okada.
Oh, you still take Okada? You still take bike?
It's not everywhere you can drive to.
Okay, is it because of the traffic?
Not because of the traffic. I live a different life. I'm not your average celebrity.
Can you please emphasize on this, please? Because a lot of people think you're gonna get the car, you're gonna get a big house. What's your take on that?
There's all that stuff, but from time to time, I still have to be in touch.
Okay.
That's my own thing. Everybody has their own way they deal with fame, and constantly being in the public eye. So for me, I try to always do as much as I used to do before I became like a big deal.
Yeah.
So like there's times where people see me walking on the road. Like I walk on the road because I have legs. I'm a human being. I just want people to understand that we are all humans. I feel it's a lot of fans don't actually understand, the people they listen to, because they feel, oh man, why is he so talented? He's not from this world.
Yes.
And we don't even help things when you see me. I go out with like a posse of like 20 people, and security, bouncers, and all this stuff. So for me, the way to actually just let people know that I'm human is like doing everyday stuff. I go to the mall, like when there's a movie that's out, I go to the movies, so I line up. Like I'm not the kind of person that would skip a queue unless I really had to, unless it's an emergency.
Yes.
Because I try to be as human as possible. If you like, because man, fame is actually a very, very deep thing. A lot of people don't know, but the best way for me to handle it is just to be normal. Like there's times where there's convoys, like we move, like there's gang
entourage,
but there's times like if I'm going to see my mom the first time, I'm not going to pull up there with like mopo and escorts and all that stuff. Nah, I'll take an Uber, I'll go see my mom, like, I'll chill and I'll be normal, like because that normality is what made me want to do what I'm doing today. It makes me who I am. So I can't put that to the side. I'm sorry, like my management even like. They know. I shouldn't be saying.
No, I'm happy you're saying this because someone's watching and being inspired by this. We need to hear this more because we sometimes feel out of touch with a lot of celebrities. The lifestyle they're displaying, especially on social media, it's pretty tough on the youth thinking that they can't be normal if you're famous. So pretty deep. So about your whole life and how you were telling me about pattern ranking and then you went to the studio.
Yeah.
Like what really woke you up to say you can't be doing marine, but let's just go to.
I feel like when we recorded Kondo in 2015, every single person that was in the studio at that time was just hyped, and I was really excited. Like the only thing I could think about is like, okay, when is this song going to come out? And this is me that went from like saying, okay, I don't want to make music anymore to when is this song going to come out? So that was when Tiny Entertainment actually became like a major contender. After Kondo came out, we put it out, shot the video with Clarence Peters, everything was like, oh, it's great, it's dope. And then we dropped Jaga.
And how was that? How was that?
I'm not like that changed my life. Because I remember at the time we were in South Africa and Jagaban was supposed to be like, just something that, okay, just put this online before the next single, right? I remember that day so well because we were in Durban, like, Pastor Rankin just won the award for, I think it was the best new act at the Mamas. That was, like, I went to the Mamas because I knew Pastor Rankin was nominated, so we all flew to South Africa, me, Tiny, and Pato's team. And I remember that day he won the award. I came on that stage. And it was like unreal, People were texting me, oh, I just saw you on TV. So the next day, we're all chilling by the beachside. Tiny decides, okay, we're going to drop Jagaban today. They make an album out and everything. And I was actually just playing around and he was sitting on this laptop. Like 1 hour later, my phone started blowing up.
That was it?
That was it.
You don't even, do you recall exactly like what you did so that like...
And then we just put the song up.
And that was it?
And that was it. Like 1 hour later, some radio stations that picked it up, people were texting me. My friends were like, yo, this song is hard. People were mentioning me on Twitter like, oh, who's this Ycee dude? Yo, Jagaban is my shit. I'm like, what? It's just been 1 hour. And we had to come back to Nigeria.
Wow.
Shot the video. Like everything was all just happening so
quick.
fast. Like it was like 2015. 2015 was a year for me because like, oh man, Ycee everywhere. All these people that I used to see from a distance. That was like,
not fake love.
Yeah, I would say fake love. I would just say recognition.
Recognition. Okay.
Yeah, just like it was just recognition. People were like, oh man, you're that dude. You have that song, man. Yo, it's in John. Like, I used to be in the clubs and I used to see what would happen when the song would come on. So it was all this was new So the only thing we didn't. It wasn't like I went into the studio to make that song and I was like, okay, today we need to make a hit record. It's like it's now or never. It's do or die. It just happened. Like, because when people ask me like, what's the inspiration? Like, what's the inspiration behind why a banker goes to work in the morning? You know, what's the inspiration behind a doctor in a hospital? So when people ask, what's the inspiration behind that song? Bro, I have to do it.
Exactly.
It's my job.
Yes.
So like, we record songs like almost every day. There's some songs that don't even make it out. So it just happened. And I mean, I was doing these shows, you know, Ycee's buzzing, Tiny Entertainment, baby.
And from then,
you know, everything was just cool.
Yeah.
And I wasn't even thinking about like what you gonna do next for it or anything. Nah,
no plans, just went with the flow.
We just went with the flow. We recorded on Malachi, we listened to it, put it out, and the song actually came out in 2015 as well.
Okay.
But Jagaban was so hot that nobody was listening to Malachi. Up until 2016, then Malachi also became like ahead.
What would you classify your genre of music?
Ycee music.
Okay, genre said like
that's my genre.
That's the genre. Ycee.
Cause like I feel like the way I make music, like there's a piece of me, like I literally have a part of me in any song I record. Okay. So it's very intimate. Even if I'm just making a song for the clubs or just something mainstream, it's always a piece of me. But if you're talking genre, I'll say I'm an Afro-pop musician.
Afro-pop musician.
Afro-pop, that's it.
Okay. So honestly, such a beautiful story, especially for the youth who are watching. I wanted to ask, who is your greatest inspiration?
My greatest inspiration is Lil Wayne. Like
Lil Wayne?
Lil Wayne, yeah. Lil Wayne.
Lil Wayne. Yeah. Why Lil Wayne?
I mean, Lil Wayne is like he changed the hip hop game. Lil Wayne was that guy that made young people, you know, he made rap fun. Cause I remember listening to the Car 3 album, and that was the album that I listened to that I said, yo, I'm gonna be a rapper. Cause initially when I started making music, I sounded so much like Lil Wayne. Like back then in secondary school, like those that knew me, they would see me, like my mates would see me in school and be like, yo, do that thing.
What thing? Because I want to hear it.
Yeah, I'm gonna laugh. Yeah, it was like, nah, I'm a big Lil Wayne fan. You know, regardless of whatever he does, in my books, he can't do no wrong because he changed the game. Like what hip hop is right now, Lil Wayne has a major influence on it. Like, you know, even the new guys, the Lil Uzis and you know, Young Thug. Like Lil Wayne was that guy. So I mean, listening to his stuff, listening to the way he told his story with his music, listening to the way he put punchlines together, I was like, yo man, I want to be Lil Wayne. You know, I want to have the tattoos. I didn't think about having. I have 8 tattoos. You have 8 tattoos. Yeah, I didn't think about having dreads at the time, but you know, somehow it just happened. Okay. A little bit about your song "Empathy," because that's like really different. It's very different. Yeah. Tell me a little about that. Empathy is off the Late Night Vibration EP that I made with Bella, who's also signed to Tiny Entertainment. Oh, nice. The thing about that song was, it was all just like one take. Okay. I just recorded everything once from like beginning to end, and then Sidex chopped out, you know, the bit he wanted. And it's a very intimate song for me because, as opposed to what I usually do, I make pop music. You know? I just make music that sounds good. You can dance to, you can vibe to, the beats banging and everything. But I also make music that, you know, if I'm going through stuff, the only way I can like deal with it is make music about it. So when Tiny was like, he wanted myself and Bella to work on a joint project, that was all he said. He didn't say it has to be this theme or anything. So we just go in the studio, we just started recording like different songs, and I feel like the whole vibe just gravitated towards, you know, the emotional relationship, whatever. At that time, I just got out of a lengthy relationship I was in, and how lengthy? About 3 years. 3 years. Almost 3 years, like 2.5 years. Do you mind telling us a little bit about what influenced the breakup? Men are trash.
Say that again.
Men are trash.
Why do you say men are trash?
I did what I made certain mistakes. You know, I feel like in relationships, you know, men have like the higher position because the situations happen a lot where people put the blame on females, but I feel like a lot of stuff that goes wrong in relationships is because the females don't hold men accountable. I will hold you accountable for whatever it is you do to me. If you choose to not hold me accountable, it's up to you. So,
very deep.
I was held accountable.
And she put you in your place. And do you thank her for that? Because it seems that you admitted that men are trash, but at the same time, do you think she helped a part of your growth?
I feel like I knew what I was doing at the end of the day because it's, you know, I'm a grown man. I'm not about to be out there and say, oh, something happened because this was the reason why this and this and that. It's not really my fault.
Yes.
But, you know, I recognize the fact that I did what I shouldn't have been doing and she wasn't going to have it. And I respected the fact that she wasn't going to have it. So, I mean, I was hurt and I made the song.
So, are you currently in a relationship?
Now I'm single.
You're single?
Like, right now I'm single.
Are you on purposely single, or you're just still like free-minded, open to be in another relationship?
I'm just single because I'm single.
Just because you're single?
I'm single.
Because why wants to be single? Okay.
Yeah.
So I know I asked you about the relationship part, but at the same time, what do you look for in a woman? What characteristics do you look for in a woman?
You have to be understanding. You have to... I feel like you just have to be understanding and you have to have a certain mindset because I'm, like, when I say I'm exposed, like, I'm exposed to a whole bunch of stuff. You know, I like conversation. I'm a person that likes to talk. So in as much as I would be physically attracted to you,
yes,
we should be able to, you know, like, engage each other.
Yes.
So, like, your physical be like, obviously you have to be fine.
Hey, what kind of assets? Let me hear them.
I like my lady slim thick.
Hey, slim thick. Okay.
So like you have to be fine because you know my parents didn't hook up to make fine babies.
Just because. All right. So before we wrap it up, I want to know exactly what you would want in a feature. For instance, you mentioned Lil Wayne. Who would you want to be featured on, or who would you want to collaborate with?
G-Ycee.
G-Ycee.
Yeah, G-Ycee is like one of my favorite. He's my... I've been following his music. The first G-Ycee song I heard was I Mean It. And then, you know, some years later, I stumbled on his new stuff. So I have all his albums. I've listened to all of it, his stuff, his new album. I watched documentaries. I've seen him perform on... I haven't seen him perform live. I've actually seen him in person.
Okay.
And I regret the fact that I didn't talk to this guy because
What made you not talk to him?
I don't. It was like it's something that happened that I haven't really told like nobody. Like okay, only a bunch of people know about. But sometime last year, right? I was in Diddy's house. Like
you were in Puff Daddy?
Yeah, I met Diddy.
Wow, cool.
And it was unreal. So I mean, I'm in Diddy's house.
Yes.
French Montana's there. Salt Bay, the chef is there.
Oh wow.
G-Eazy's there. Cassie's there. Like
all these
people.
Wow.
And it was all unreal. So I was just chilling and everything. And then G-Eazy, I'm like, wait, pause. Like, no, you guys are not going to do this thing tonight. Like, what's going on? Like, it's hype enough that I'm in Diddy's house. And then you're telling me G-Eazy's here. And then he walks past and I'm like, yo, G, what's up? And he was like, hey. He's like, cool. And then I was like, oh, man, dog, no. So, I mean, we're definitely going to meet again.
Yes. So that's who you'd want to collaborate with.
Yeah, I respect his music.
Okay. So your parents, so is your you talk about your mom a lot, but you didn't talk about your dad.
And my dad's late. My dad passed when I was 9 years old, I think.
How'd you deal with that?
I didn't fully understand it at the time. You know,
how old are you?
Right now I'm 25.
25, and how old were you at that time?
I think I was 9.
9.
Yeah, I was 9. Was I 9? Wait.
Were you 9, 10?
I think I was like 8, 9.
8, 9, okay.
So I remember that day so well. Like, you know, I came back. My parents are separated from like when I was really young, so I grew up with my mom's family. So I remember coming back that day, and you know, my mom was sitting there, and it was obvious she been crying.
Yes.
You know, they told me, like, yo, like they told me like, you know, that and that, and I'm like, okay, because I mean,
just like that, okay.
I wasn't when I said like they were separated when I was really young, so I wasn't, you know,
attached.
Okay. I didn't call my dad daddy, you know, so it was like. Anytime I saw my dad, it was more like a formal relationship.
Okay.
But like I knew my dad, like, you know, I knew who he was.
Yes.
Like, you know, I fucked with the G. So coming back home from school, like it happened in December. So I remember like it was crazy because we just had a school party.
Okay.
And I came back from school that day. I'm like there's all
these people
in my house, and I didn't really understand, so I just had to be calm.
Yes.
Because I was very mischievous when I was young, so. The number one rule I used to live by was when they're outside as in the house, behave yourself.
Yes.
So I was just sitting there, and it didn't really hit me up until like years later, when some way somehow, you know, there was a newspaper article about what happened because my dad was assassinated. Actually, it was a really deep. So I read the newspaper article and I saw the death certificate.
Yes.
So I read all that when I was much older, so that was when it actually hit me, and I was like, okay, whoa. You know, this is actually
assassinated. What exactly do you think happened?
No, it wasn't a thing. Like it was a political thing.
So he was in politics.
Yeah, he was trying to get into politics.
Wow.
At the time, so yeah, it was very deep. So that's why, you know, there's certain things that I speak up on.
Yeah.
Most people don't understand why I speak about them.
Yes.
But it's very important. You know, the choices we make and the people we put in power.
Yes.
So I speak on that a lot. Even though I don't do that through my music.
Yes.
Nigerians just want to dance and forget their sorrows.
Yes.
But it's a very, very important
thing. Yes.
So that hit me like a lot later. Like, okay, so you know, but I rep my dad like 247. That's why I'm called Omalaji.
Hey.
My dad is.
Hey.
Yeah.
The last remark to all those who are watching. Give them your last inspiration and tell them what you want from them and what you will give to them.
I mean, I believe before anybody is going to believe in you, you have to believe in yourself. You know, you have to be your own number one fan before you have your first fan. So
yes,
it's all about you at the end of the day. Whatever it is you want to set out to do, you know, whatever it is, you know, maybe you're a doctor or you're in school trying to pass that exam. Because I feel like a lot of people are just like, oh, musicians are only supposed to inspire musicians. But I mean, I feel inspired by normal people that I meet every day, you know, doctors, people that I meet, like my lawyers and everything. So I feel like they're equally as important because every time I'm like, oh man, there's a new artist out, but when my friends tell me, yo bro, you know, I just graduated today, I'm like, ah yes, one more doctor in the world, you know, so whatever it is you want to be, whatever it is you set your mind out to do, you know, just surround yourself with the same people that have the same goal as you.
Yes. Thank you so much, Ycee.
Yeah.
I need a prop there. Alright, so that was Ycee. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If this was your first time tuning in, please don't forget to do 3 things. Like, subscribe, and share. And I'll also like to give a big thank you to Prince George Entertainment. And this is Ycee. Keep watching. Alright, so give us a little freestyle.
Okay, so you want to freestyle. I'll do it like freestyle.
Hey.
First off, I'll be the best off. Talking about other people that I ain't heard of. Make sure I do Prince George. Please get involved. Falling like a boulder like we in George. But we in Canada, we in the 6th though. First level, I'm on the 6th floor. I mean, we on the 23 or the 33, I don't know, but we way high up, you know. Ain't nobody about to die, that's the slogan. Killer game, Wolverine like Logan. Like a Deadpool with a green on his ring. Same time I be rapping when I'm the same. Top dome, it's on top of the dome. I'm like gangster, feeling like I was home that night. Run the game, I ain't even do athletics. I'ma take your girl, only if you let it. Only if you let me. She about to text me. They be in my DM. They be.
We are going to his DM all the time. Thank you so much. Oh, picture you guys. Picture.
We going down in the DM.
Picture.
And this was a round.
Where's it? Hey.
You already know.
Hey, cut.
Brown paper bags, a flow like this, I swear your fave never had. I know why they mad chicks digging me. They giving me a big fat blunt like Steiner stuck up in the chimney.